Hell's Kitchen is known for pushing chefs to their absolute limits.
Nothing was consistent. None of you were together.
The pressure, the heat, Gordon Ramsay's brutal standards.
Get out. Get out.
But what happens when that pressure doesn't just break spirits?
Medic! I need a medic!
Are you serious?
It breaks bodies? But some moments went way beyond kitchen drama. We're talking medical emergencies, 911 calls, and one tragedy that ended in death.
You okay?
Today, I'm breaking down the most terrifying moments in Hell's Kitchen history. From a chef collapsing mid-conversation with Gordon, to someone slicing off the tips of their fingers, to a heartbreaking story that still haunts fans today. These aren't just cooking fails. These are life or death situations that happened on live television. And the last story? It's the darkest moment in the show's entire history. Story 1, The Exhausted Chef. In Season 5, Episode 15, a head chef was running the kitchen during one of the most intense dinner services of the season.
Eddie pitches this as the Ferrari of hotel.
It's not a question of me not cooking for you.
He was responsible for an absolutely massive menu, 150 items, and he'd been working non-stop for weeks. When Gordon came in to check on the food quality, he immediately noticed something was off.
I don't know. I didn't even know where to start. Why wouldn't you cook for me? Why wouldn't you do that?
The chef looked completely drained, barely able to stand.
But you're an experienced guy.
But when Gordon started questioning him about the terrible food going out,
I have 120 items on the menu, and we do 50 people a night.
the chef admitted he was at the end of his rope. He was exhausted, burnt out, running on empty. Gordon told him he was toast, that he needed to step back. The chef tried to keep going, tried to push through. Therefore, his body started shutting down right there in the kitchen. Mid-conversation with Gordon, the chef's face went pale. His eyes glazed over. Gordon immediately knew something was seriously wrong. He asked if the chef was okay, told him to look at him, tried to keep him conscious. And then it happened. The chef collapsed, just dropped to the floor.
You okay?
Gordon didn't hesitate. He called for water, demanded a chair, and when the chef hit the ground, he immediately yelled for someone to call 911.
Call 911, please, quickly. 911.
Here's where it gets even worse. The restaurant owner had the audacity to blame Gordon for the collapse, saying Gordon was the one stressing everyone out.
I am really pissed off at Gordon. He's stressing everybody out. Everyone seems to be at their boiling point.
That Gordon's presence was causing all the problems. Gordon absolutely destroyed him. He made it crystal clear, do not dare blame me for putting that man in an ambulance. A menu with 150 items in a kitchen the size of a shoebox. That's what sent this man to the hospital. That's what could send him to an early grave. The chef was treated by paramedics and survived, but it was a brutal wake-up call about just how dangerous kitchen stress can be. Story 2, Andy's finger slicing accident. But physical exhaustion wasn't the only danger in Hell's Kitchen. In Season 6, Andy was working his station during a dinner service, doing something every chef does hundreds of times.
It was just cooking into like a thick pancake. Like, what is going on?
Slicing potatoes. He was focused, moving quickly, trying to keep up with the pace. But in one split second, the knife went too deep. Andy screamed. The entire kitchen heard it. He yelled for a medic.
Medic! I need a medic!
Are you serious?
Holding his hand as blood started pouring out. When the medic rushed over, the damage was clear. Andy had sliced his middle finger, but it wasn't just one finger, it was 3 fingers. Deep cuts. The tips of his fingers were literally taken off. One of his teammates said it was so deep and so horrible you could see how bad it really was.
Andy, like the tips of his fingers were literally taken off. It was so deep and so horrible.
Therefore, Andy was immediately rushed to the clinic to get stitches. But here's where Andy's story takes a turn. He came back to Hell's Kitchen later that same service, determined to keep cooking. The problem? His injury made him almost useless in the kitchen. His teammate had to jump in and help him with everything. Andy tried to make risotto, tried to make salads, but his dexterity was completely shot. When Gordon tasted Andy's food, he lost it. He asked how much dressing Andy was putting on the salad. It was drowning in it.
Look at the fucking dressing, look. How much fucking dressing are you putting in?
Andy tried to make excuses, saying he was having problems with his dexterity.
I'm having a problem with my dexterity, chef. As simple as that.
Oh my God.
And that's when Gordon made the most brutal comparison. He pointed to Dave, who had been cooking for the last 3 weeks with one hand, a broken wrist, and asked if everything was fine.
Hey, Dave, he's been cooking for the last 3 weeks, one hand. Hey, big boy.
Yes,
hey,
chef.
Get a grip, you, yeah?
Yes, chef.
Yeah? Come on, Andy, let's go.
Dave said yes. The message was clear. Dave was cooking circles around Andy despite having only one working hand. Andy couldn't bounce back from his injury, and he was eliminated after that service. It's a harsh reminder that in Hell's Kitchen, injuries don't buy you sympathy. They expose whether you can adapt under pressure. Story 3. Dave's broken wrist. Now let's talk about Dave, the chef Gordon just compared Andy to, because Dave's injury during season 6 should have ended his Hell's Kitchen run right there. After losing a challenge, Dave's team was forced to wash an entire fire truck by hand. It was grueling, physical work. Dave was focused, determined to get it done. But while working on the truck, his hand got caught in something. He yanked it out and immediately felt his wrist start swelling. He said it felt like he was about to lose his arm. Dave tried to hide it. He didn't want to show weakness. Therefore, he kept working through the pain, but it became unbearable. He couldn't feel the tips of his fingers. It felt like bone was touching skin. He had no choice. He rushed to the emergency room, and the diagnosis was brutal: a torn ligament and a fractured wrist. The doctors told him he needed to stop, that continuing could cause permanent damage. But Dave refused to quit. He said no matter how messed up his wrist was, he could take the pain. He was there to stay, and he meant it. Dave returned to Hell's Kitchen and cooked the rest of the competition with essentially one hand. His teammates started calling him the One-Armed Bandit. Against all odds, fighting through excruciating pain every single service, Dave won season 6 of Hell's Kitchen. It's one of the most inspiring comebacks in the show's history, and it's why Gordon had zero patience for Andy's excuses. Story 4. Brett's heart emergency. But while Dave's story had a happy ending, not every chef was so fortunate. Brett from season 18 faced a medical emergency that could have killed him on the spot. Brett had actually competed in season 14 before, where he suffered an embarrassing back injury in the bathroom. Season 18 was supposed to be his redemption arc. During a dinner service, Brett suddenly started sweating profusely. He said it came out of nowhere. He was just...
I don't know what's happening. I just, out of nowhere, I started sweating profusely, like leaking.
Leaking sweat. His heart was pounding like a monster. He felt like his heart was going to explode out of his chest. His teammate immediately called for the medics.
Real quick. Your heart, that's something you don't play with, and that's something that, you take serious.
Therefore, when they checked his vitals, they found his blood pressure was dangerously high, 160/100. The medic told him they usually call 911 in situations like this.
Last time.
They wanted to get him to a hospital immediately, put him on a monitor.
And right now, I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack.
Make sure he wasn't having a heart attack. But Brett refused. He said his heart could literally explode before he'd leave Hell's Kitchen again because of an injury.
My heart will explode out of my chest before I leave again because of an injury.
He was willing to sign any waiver, take any risk. The medics hesitantly let him sign against medical advice and return to the kitchen. It was a terrifying moment, watching someone choose competition over their own health. Fortunately, once Brett calmed down, his vitals stabilized, but it was a stark reminder that the stress of Hell's Kitchen isn't just mental, it's physical, and it can be deadly. Story 5. Aaron's tragic decline. But nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to what happened to Aaron in season 3. This is the darkest, most heartbreaking story in Hell's Kitchen history. From the very first day, something was clearly wrong with Aaron. During Gordon's opening pep talk, when Gordon asked how he was feeling, Aaron just started crying. He couldn't hold it together. Other chefs were confused. Gordon told him to stop crying, to keep it together, but it only got worse. During the first dinner service, Aaron was already panicking. He suddenly walked off the line mid-service, saying he'd be back in 5 minutes. His teammates were stunned. You never abandon your station during service. In the dorms, Aaron was breaking down. He was crying, apologizing, saying he was confused and dizzy. Gordon pulled him aside, gave him time to collect himself. Therefore, when Aaron returned to service, Gordon tried to help him. He gave him easier tasks, tried to build his confidence, get him out of the heat. But then, mid-conversation, Aaron just went blank, unresponsive. Gordon asked what was wrong, if he was okay. Aaron snapped out of it and said he just passed out for a while.
Yeah, I just passed out for a while, sorry.
Instead of pulling him from the competition right there, which, looking back, they absolutely should have, Gordon sent Aaron to the dining room to take orders. It was a disaster. Aaron was barely conscious, mumbling bizarre things to confused customers. He introduced himself multiple times. He pointed out that his name was on his shirt. Customers were uncomfortable. Then Gordon asked him to debone a fish tableside. It took Aaron 15 agonizing minutes. By the time he finished, the food was cold. It was painful to watch. But the producers still didn't pull him. The next episode, during a punishment, Aaron's body finally gave out completely. He collapsed, just dropped to the ground during the punishment. His teammates were terrified. Medics rushed in. Aaron was unconscious. Gordon called him from his hospital bed and delivered the news. Aaron had a serious illness. Doctor's orders, he couldn't come back to Hell's Kitchen. For years, fans wondered what caused Aaron's terrifying breakdown. It wasn't just stress. It wasn't just the pressure. Aaron was suffering from untreated diabetes. His body was shutting down on national television. And tragically, Aaron died from complications just a few years after the show aired. It's a sobering reminder that reality TV, no matter how entertaining, involves real people with real health struggles. Aaron's story is the most terrifying moment in Hell's Kitchen history, not because of drama, but because of the tragic reality of what happened. Rest in peace, Aaron. Now that you've seen the most terrifying medical emergencies in Hell's Kitchen history, you need to know about the times chefs tried to cheat Gordon Ramsay and how he caught every single one of them. In that video, I reveal the most shocking cheating scandals, from hiding ingredients to sabotaging opponents, and Gordon's brutal takedowns when he exposed them all. The last one almost got a chef permanently disqualified. This is Hot Plate Banter, and we're committed to bringing you 2 videos every week, breaking down the wildest moments from Hell's Kitchen and kitchen nightmares. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.